I am ready.
I'm Sadhika.
I'm Radhika.
First of all, like, do you share how much you earn with your family?
No. No.
So I'm not the only one then.
Particularly for women, I do feel there should be a certain amount that nobody should know about. One bank account you're supposed to have that nobody's supposed to know about.
So you know what I've realized? That my mental health is directly proportional to my bank balance. Which is why it's great today. Because it's the first of the month.
Well, I agree with you.
It's relatable, right?
Yes. And it is proportional.
Yes. How's your mood when the salary comes in?
Oh, it's great. Suddenly, you're
The
back
grass
to life.
looks
You can-
greener.
yes, you can make that purchase. You can all those things you've added to your cart. You can finally check out, and get that skincare you want for yourself.
I swear. The worst is when जब मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स एंड ऑफ द मंथ के आसपास खत्म होने लग जाते हैं ना और मुझे पता होता है कि ये नहीं चलेगा, ये 2 हफ्ते और नहीं चलेगा, बट सैलरी आने में अभी 2 हफ्ते और है, तब ऐसा लगता है कि फक यार क्यों जल्दी आए. तब टाइम ऐसा लगता है कि बीतता ही नहीं है.
But this time around, despite being in the end of the month, I bought this one hairspray.
Okay.
It's rosemary water hairspray by Botanic Hearth. So it's got rice water, it's got peppermint for protection, and as the name suggests, rosemary. And I've been using it AM and PM because it can be. And I think my hair, they look better.
They look bouncier for sure
Yeah.
today. Like I can see volume in it.
Yeah.
बट एक आधे प्रोडक्ट्स जब खरीदने होते हैं एंड ऑफ द मंथ पे वो वाली चीज़ तो फिर भी ठीक है, बट ओवरऑल दैट एंटायर चिक चिक और दैट एंटायर फीलिंग दैट यू गेट दैट यू हैव टू वेट फॉर एवरी
Also the
cycle.
how you ration the usage
Of
of your
money.
products, right? Because it's here, the bottle's here, and you have to buy it again. And as much as people would laugh at this, the thing is that skincare is expensive. All that one product maybe 2,000, but
Yeah.
together it's like 15,000, 16,000. So it's a big bill to pay.
yes, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And talking about expensive, how has your relationship with money been like?
Honestly, it's been good. It's been good because from very early on I knew that money is important, and I've never pretended to be one of those people who say, oh, money doesn't matter, right? It does, it really does. And I've always respected money a lot. Briefly, there was a period in my life where I thought that financial independence is like a very far-fetched thing
Dream.
for me, because a lot of things were going on, and I don't know, I had this feeling that I may be a very good student and I may be very, very good at academics, but I never will be able to do a job, right? And then because of that, I thought I'll never be financially independent truly. And that took a while. That fear did go away. Although शुरू में जब even when I started earning, तो वो एक डर था. But eventually, ever since I've been taking care of myself and I don't take any money from home, so that independence has come, and it is a beautiful, beautiful feeling. However, of course, in the starting of your career, when you're making peanuts, it is difficult, right? And you do wonder, okay, will there be a day when it won't matter, right? You'll have enough in your bank that you could just go and do whatever you like. And I think eventually it does come, that point does come. So it's been mostly good. Of course, a few challenges here and there, but mostly it's been good. You tell me, what about you?
Yeah, I think my relationship with money has been more complicated than all of my romantic relationships combined. Because कैसे समझाऊँ? मैं कुछ टाइम पहले आई वाज टॉकिंग टू हनी सिंह, ठीक है, और मैंने हनी सिंह से क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि नया नया पैसा और नया नया फेम बहुत लोगों से नहीं संभलता, और उसने बोला कि हाँ भाई एकदम सच बात है, नहीं संभलता. इसका ऑपोजिट भी ट्रू होता है. सडन फाइनेंशियल लॉस भी लोगों से नहीं संभलता. एंड in my life early on, like when I was still very young, while I was still like in school, right, my family for that matter experienced some sort of financial turbulence, एंड उस टाइम पे तुम बच्चे हो तो तुम्हें नहीं समझ आता होता, उससे पहले कि तो क्या ही रिलेशनशिप होगी तुम्हारी मनी से, राइट? इट्स द रिलेशनशिप विद योर फादर हु गिव्स यू द पॉकेट मनी, राइट? बट सर्टेन थिंग्स हैपेंड एंड आई स्टार्टेड, you know, I don't know. I got introduced to the concept of money in a very, hard sort of a way. So, जैसे जब एक बच्चा स्कूल में होता है तो वो कितना प्रोटेक्टेड होता है, वो एक उसके अराउंड एक एक बाउंड्री सी होती है उसके पेरेंट्स की प्रोटेक्शन की, स्कूल की, सारी चीज़ों की, एंड सडनली व्हेन ही इज shoved into the real world, that is when things really hit him. So something like that happened with me, and from absolutely having no thought of money कि क्या होता है, कैसे कमाते हैं, फ़र्क पड़ना चाहिए, नहीं फ़र्क पड़ना चाहिए, लाइक आई वाज सो नॉनशलेंट अबाउट मनी दैट आई कांट टेल यू, एंड एक्चुअली बिकॉज you've सीन मी ड्यूरिंग दोज ईयर्स. बट उसके बाद से सडनली आई थिंक आई हैव डेवलप्ड सम सॉर्ट ऑफ an insecurity, a financial insecurity that just makes me very like I'm very scared to spend money. So if I have to sum it up, my relationship with money is that of fear. That I get very scared the moment I realize that okay, इसमें ज़्यादा पैसे लग रहे हैं, यहाँ पे ज़्यादा पैसे जा रहे हैं, ये ज़्यादा expenses आ रहे हैं. So I quickly have to gather myself and like redo my expenses or redo my whatever for the month.
But Sadhika, for somebody who says they are fearful of money, you really need to keep your hisab, bro, because you're somebody who gives money, forgets to even ask
Yes,
it back from.
Yeah. But that is a personality flaw. वो nature से आया है, वो मेरा खुद का वो develop नहीं
But
है.
still, then you have to be a little more particular about money. But yes, that journey, like you can literally go from not giving a thought about money to money becoming the only thing that matters to you. That is the journey that you can take if you are not very careful about how you take your financial decisions.
True. एंड पता है, मैंने अभी रिसेंटली एक स्टडी पढ़ी थी, उस स्टडी में ये लिखा हुआ था, एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट बात कर रहा था एंड ही वाज डिस्कसिंग द साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर्स दैट इवेंचुअली लीड पीपल इनटू मेकिंग बैड मनी डिसीजंस. ठीक है, एंड वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट्स. फर्स्ट वाज हैविंग अ स्कार्सिटी माइंडसेट कि कि कुछ लोगों का माइंडसेट ही ऐसे होता है कि उनको लगता है कि मैं जितना मर्जी कमा लूँ या मेरे पास जितना मर्जी है वो कम ही पड़ेगा, मेरे पास जो भी है वो कभी पूरा नहीं पड़ेगा, और इस डर में, इस हबड़ा तबड़ी में ना दे मेक बैड डिसीजंस. द सेकेंड वॉज दैट अनप्रोसेस्ड ट्रॉमा, that maybe in their life they've faced some sort of financial insecurity, a loss which got attached to some other event which was also not pleasant. For example, कोई फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम आई लाइफ में, उसकी वजह से किसी की ट्रीटमेंट नहीं हो पाई, उसकी वजह से कोई somebody passed away, उसकी वजह से कोई रिलेशनशिप टूट गया, तो वो एक पूरा जो इवेंट होता है ना, वो एक अनप्रोसेस्ड ट्रॉमा की तरह रह जाता है तुम्हारे दिमाग में, विच इवेंचुअली लीड्स यू इनटू मेकिंग बैड और पुअर डिसीजंस. थर्ड वाज लो सेल्फ एस्टीम. एंड we've spoken about this before, that कभी कभी जब तुम अपने बारे में इतना ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं फील करते, अच्छा नहीं फील करते, so what do? We in the name of retail therapy, we spend thousands of rupees on things that we don't actually need and don't actually use. So that is one. And the last point was having the fear of history repeating itself. And ये usually तब आता है जब तुमने अपनी लाइफ में अपने किसी पार्टनर को या फिर अपने पेरेंट्स को या फिर अपनी फैमिली में किसी को भी कुछ बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट प्रॉब्लम्स मेक करते हुए देखा है इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ मनी, और वो चीज़ तुम्हारे दिमाग में रह जाती है. कहीं ना कहीं वो fear ना तुम्हें कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं फील करवाता आगे भी फ्यूचर डिसीजंस करेक्टली लेने के लिए. एंड आई वॉज सरप्राइज्ड कि हाउ मच ऑफ इट felt relatable here and there. Not a lot of it, but here and there for sure.
And one would think that all of these things will only make you financially wiser, because आपने कहीं ना कहीं all of these points talk about scarcity or loss, right? तो मतलब enough नहीं था, तो one would think कि अब आगे जाके इंसान ज़्यादा संभाल के रखेगा, but actually ऐसा नहीं होता है. Subconsciously you end up taking decisions that really are not good for your finances, and I feel it's all the more important for women particularly to make better financial decisions, is because so many women stay in unwanted relationships because they are dependent on other people for their survival. Other than so-called badnami, the primary reason why women stay in marriages they don't want to stay in anymore is because they don't nowhere else to go, right? Because they're dependent on their husbands, and if not husbands, they'll have to go back to their fathers, and well, that will depend firstly if the father has enough to sustain the girl, right? And if he's also willing, let's say if he has enough, then he's willing to sustain the girl, right? So it's so important. If a woman is truly financially independent and she is in a relationship or a marriage that's really not working out for her, she can step out of it and do what is good for her because she has the means to do it. Another very important thing is that, when you are financially independent, you choose at least romantic and in some cases even other relationships in your life, not for money, but for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Today, if I'm dependent on my father and let's say he does not have enough and I am not independent, I would want to marry into a family or to a guy who has enough, right? And मेरे selection criteria में money will play a more important role than
Maybe love.
understanding, love, respect, right? And if I'm truly independent, then I can marry for love, which ideally should be the case, right? So important, so important for women to be independent.
That is true. और पता है, there was a survey, अभी कुछ टाइम पहले एक सर्वे हुआ था, उसमें ये बताया था that 1 out of every 5 women, okay, only 1 makes really solid financial decisions. And unfortunately, I've met very few women in my life or around myself, जिन्होंने who are actively taking a part into educating, in educating themselves and everything. But most of the time, I just feel that they like something holds them back. And because I wanted to know more about it, I came across this very, very interesting study. और कोई psychologist बात कर रहा था उसमें, और उसने ये चीज़ बताई that this inhibition that most women have to taking a financially sound decision actually comes from a complex called the Cinderella complex. So the Cinderella complex is basically the fear of being successful or the fear of being financially independent. For example, the moment अगर मैंने आज अपने आप को ये बोल दिया कि नहीं भाई, आई हैव रियलाइज इट इज़ डॉन्ड अपॉन मी कि मेरे को फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट बनना है, एट द सेम टाइम कहीं ना कहीं वो एक फियर आ जाएगा कि यार अगर मैं फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट बन जाऊंगी, डज दैट मीन दैट आई एम गिविंग अप on the idea of ever finding a man in my life? क्योंकि all the while I was growing up, I have associated the idea of finding a man to also him taking care of these money problems in my life, right? चाहते ना चाहते तुम छोटे होते हो, right? A girl is young, she's small, she looks up to the daddy, right? She looks up to her father कि नहीं, he'll take care of me and everything, and then she looks up to the husband कि शादी होगी फिर ये सारी चीज़ें तो वो ध्यान रखेगा ना. बट अगर मैं आज खुद से ध्यान रखने लग जाऊँ तो क्या इसका ये मतलब है कि should I'm giving up on the hope of ever getting married, of ever finding the guy? And this is called the Cinderella complex that a lot of women, have, but they don't even know about.
I mean, I'm sure. But if you really think about it, this Cinderella effect is a product of such toxic conditioning,
Yes.
right? मतलब कहीं ना कहीं this is the only relevance a man will have in our life. Like we shouldn't want a man to be in our life so that he can provide, right?
Yeah.
Good for him if he does, right? We also, like as women, as independent women, we also want to be pampered by whoever our husbands will be. But that does not mean that, like, you are financially independent for yourself and किसी और का वजूद आपकी independence से कम नहीं होना चाहिए. And you being independent by no means will mean that you will have no space left in your life for a man anymore. Like there's so much more even a man can offer, and by all means he should.
Absolutely.
It's high time that men provide for more than just money, right? And another toxic conditioning is that why is it that when a guy is money minded, he's either ambitious or he's smart, but when a woman is money minded, she's either a gold digger or she's materialistic. This is another reason why women are so afraid to talk about money, to own up to the fact that they give a fuck about money, or even scared to be financially independent because they just feel that it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing for women to be money minded. I think that's completely stupid.
Yeah, and why does money minded have to be a bad term?
Exactly. As
Shouldn't
long as
we be mindful about money in the first place?
As long as being money minded does not mean that you're picking people in your lives because they have money.
Yeah.
right? You are money minded, that means you take certain smart decisions which will strengthen your financial standing.
True.
You know, that can be money minded. You picking up a certain hotel over another hotel when you're going on a vacation is you being money minded. You know, you choosing to shop during EOSS, right, is you being money minded. But if you're associating being money minded with picking friends or boyfriends because of their financial status, that is different, right?
And that
So
is a
it's
problem.
high time we change the definition of this term money minded. I think it's a good thing, and we all should be money minded.
Have you ever felt comfortable, first of all, like, do you share how much you earn with your family?
No, no.
So I'm not the only one then.
No, not at all. And I don't think it is anybody's business. Tomorrow, if my parents need my help, I am there for them. But even then, they should not know how much I make and what portion of what I make I'm giving to them. Although I do agree that this varies from family to family. जिन लोगों की joint families होती हैं और family businesses होते हैं, वहाँ पे it's there for everyone to see, and people withdraw whatever they want to withdraw individually, and सबको सबका पता होता है. But at the same time, where different members are making different, like earning from different sources of income, वहाँ पर I don't think there is any need for people to share. And even if you share, let's say the family dynamic is such के लोग share करते हैं आपस में, you know, you tell your mother how much you make, or you're excited to tell your father that okay, this is the raise I've gotten. So that is also okay, but at the same time, again, particularly for women, I do feel there should be a certain amount that nobody should know about. One bank account you're supposed to have that nobody's supposed to know about. तुम अपने मम्मी पापा को उसका नॉमिनी बना लो. Once you die, they can have all the money. But for any kind of tragedy that, you know, or unfortunate circumstances that you may face in going forward in the future, I know women who've had to go through abortions, right? And they could do it because they had their own money, and some had to actually lean on their boyfriends to, you know, get that done. So that emergency fund should always be there.
And it's a very, very tricky space. I mean, pehle, I was never of the mindset. In fact, I was the kind who would actually openly share details of how much I would make with my parents. But I think over the years, you know, I've become this person जहाँ पे मेरे को झिझक आती है और किसी रीजन से नहीं आती. It's not like कि वो ऐसे मांगेंगे मेरे से कि नहीं अपनी सैलरी दो. Everybody is, you know, earning for themselves. Everybody is happy in their own life. But I've just realized कि कभी-कभी ना फालतू की complications आ जाती हैं और कभी-कभी फालतू की एक आधी नसीहत ऐसी आ जाती है जो शायद आप लोगे भी नहीं, बट अगला इंसान दे भी देगा, एंड मे बी यू नो दे आर गिविंग इट आउट ऑफ लव एंड केयर एंड कंसर्न, बट डीप डाउन यू नो यू जस्ट वांट टू. कभी कभी क्या होता है ना कि अगर अच्छा डिसीजन होगा वो भी मेरा, बट अगर बुरा डिसीजन होगा वो भी मेरा. तुम एक पॉइंट के बाद चाहते नहीं होते कि तुम किसी भी सेंस में अपने पेरेंट्स को ब्लेम करो या उनकी इन्फ्लुएंस के वजह से, यू नो, वो रिजेंटमेंट जो बिल्ड होने शुरू हो जाती है. बट ओवर द इयर्स आई हैव ऑल्सो realize the importance of keeping some money aside that nobody knows about.
Totally.
And isi us pe I was reading, like I was going on Reddit and I came across this thread, so I'll read it out for you. It says, is it normal for a woman to have secret money that her partner doesn't know about, just in case of anything? Okay, and it's a poll. 409 people have said no, and those 409 people were men. And in women, 246 women have said yes. So clearly men think कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, but women clearly in this poll think that ऐसा होना चाहिए, and I side with women, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Also because I know this from personal experiences of people around me. There were women in marriages, and because they had a certain sum of money aside, जब उनकी family को किसी health crisis में, किसी और financial crisis में ज़रूरत पड़ी, they did not have to go up to their husbands and ask, can I provide for my sister? Can I help my mother in need? And that is exactly what it does, because अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम उस सोसाइटी में रहते हैं जहाँ पर अभी भी औरतें बहुत ज़्यादा आंसरेबल हैं अपने हस्बैंड्स को और वो उनके कहने पे चलती हैं. Ideally, it should not be the case. If I'm making my money, it is absolutely my business where I want to spend it, who I want to spend it on, and nobody can ask me. And likewise, we also shouldn't ask, like women also shouldn't ask their husbands, why are you giving this to your mother? This also women do, right? So if you're talking about men, let's talk about women as well. Women also do this, that, why are you giving, so and so much money to your sister or your mother? And while it's none of your business, it's none of his business either. And that is where that money kept aside helps, because you can always help your friends in need, your family in need, and sometimes just your own self.
True. Because you know, as a woman, it is very awkward to even ask for money. मतलब borrowing money is not easy at all. मुझे पता है कि at this point in my life, probably the only person that I'm comfortable borrowing money from is you. Right? It is not my
Likewise.
parents. And I've made it a point for it to never be my partner. And maybe ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. And maybe if I'll ever date to marry, if I ever find a guy that I will eventually end up marrying, maybe things will change there. But I just feel that as a woman, it just gets a little bit more awkward. In fact, लड़कों को तो शायद कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, पैसे मांगने से, क्योंकि वो तो दोस्ती यारी में बोलते थे कि चल यार मेरे को इतने पैसे चाहिए, इतने दे दे, ऐसी हेल्प कर दे. ना शेम अटैच होती है, ना एम्बैरेसमेंट अटैच होती है, ना वो awkward फील करते हैं. फॉर सम रीजन इट्स वेरी हेल्दी एंड अपफ्रंट, राइट? बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यार अगर मैंने कभी किसी से पैसे मांग लिए, बाई चांस वो इंसान लड़का हुआ, कोई भी हुआ, विल ही थिंक दैट you understand?
Either I don't have enough, or I don't save enough, or
that I am that I'm asking him or keeping him around so that I can ask money from him.
Well, that did not occur to me. Maybe that thought can obviously cross his mind, but not if it's once in a while. But I think for me, it would be the fear of being judged, right? I mean, thank God for never putting me in that position where I've had to borrow money from anybody. And if I must, then I would. If it's a small amount, maybe you. But if it's a big amount, my father. But somebody else, I don't think so. Like, never. And also, I don't know, I think also women are kind of uncomfortable asking for favors.
Yeah.
But it's not entirely true. So, there's this girl, she needed money because her cat died and she wanted to get her treated and everything, and she borrowed money from her colleague, and she told him that she'll give it back in like 2 months, and it's been a year and she's not given the money back. So I'm pretty sure that women also use men for money if they must, but at large I think women are like very, very uncomfortable as compared to men borrowing money.
Bhai, but what your friend did was...
Not my friend.
Okay, not your friend, and for good reason then, but that was so bad. And pata hai, these are bad manners. And people talk about it very less, and most of the time they don't even talk about it because, like, anything else related to money, even this is awkward maybe, but we must talk about, money manners when it comes to borrowing and lending money.
Oh, totally. There's like plenty of them that people need to practice.
First of all, I think when you ask for money, you should ask it and be transparent enough to tell the other person that, listen, मैं ये पैसे मांग रहा हूँ, मेरे को 1 महीना लग जाएगा, 2 महीने लग जाएंगे, 3 महीने लग जाएंगे, 4 महीने लग जाएंगे, 10 महीने, 1 साल लग जाएगा. बट इतनी ट्रांसपेरेंसी तुम्हें अपने मुंह से बतानी चाहिए, rather than कि हाँ ठीक है, I'll take it and I'll return it as soon as possible. I think वो as soon as possible is not cool. You need to give the other person some clarity.
Totally. Also, if at all you're faltering on the deadline, right, on the timeline, let the other person know. अगर आपने किसी को बोला आप 1 महीने में उनके पैसे लौटा दोगे और 1 महीना हो चुका है, इससे पहले कि वो आपके पास आए, you have to go to them and tell them that I will not be able to return the money in the promised time. Please allow me some more time. The other very important thing is, if you've borrowed money, or let's say you went out on a friend's date, right, and you have to settle the accounts. In the end, whatever it is that you owe to somebody, when you're paying them, always round it up. Not round it off, round it up. Let's say you owe somebody 3850. Well, that's
a round.
That's an even number. That's an even rounded number.
3867.
Yeah, so at least make it 70. If not,
yeah, people who just transfer 3,800 rupees, I think that's very, very cheap.
That's very, very cheap.
Yeah. And I also think while lending money, you should always be careful because कितनी बार ये होता है कि तुम्हारा अगर फैमिली मेंबर मांग रहा है पैसे, तुम्हारा बहुत ही क्लोज बेस्ट फ्रेंड कोई पैसे मांग रहा है, तब समझ आता है कि तुम्हारे पास एक्स अमाउंट है और तुमने उसको वो दे दी बिकॉज उसको ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी उस मोमेंट में. बट जब तुम्हें ये चीज़ पता है कि तुम्हारी खुद की EMI चल रही हैं, जब तुम्हारे खुद के कुछ कुछ ऐसे पेमेंट्स बची हैं, या फिर रेंट देना है, या फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल पे करना है, या फिर कोई मेडिकल खर्चा है जो रेकरिंग है, उस टाइम पे आई थिंक कि वो पैसा जो आपने अपनी इन चीज़ों के लिए सेव करके रखा हुआ है, राइट, जो हर महीने आनी है, उस टाइम पे इवन लेंडिंग मनी इज अ प्रॉब्लम.
Yeah. In fact, this is one thing that I told my friend who lent the money and never got it back. सबसे पहले तो आप उसी को दो जिस पे आपको पूरा पूरा भरोसा है, या फिर somebody who is really really close to you and you know for a fact is in need. But if you're giving money to somebody who's a little distant, who's sort of an acquaintance or just a friend, consider it a bad debt.
Yes.
Already.
Yes.
और उतना दो जितना चला जाए तो
फर्क
बुरा
ना
ना
पड़े.
लगे.
हाँ.
Right? You can't give 20K, give 2K, 5K, and already believe it in your head that it's not coming back. If it comes back, good for you.
Yeah.
Because you with money, you can't just trust anybody. You must help people out for sure. If somebody needs the money and you have an X amount to spare that you don't care if doesn't return to you, then for sure, go for it. Yeah. Like, don't stray from helping people, but don't make a fool out of yourself either.
Agreed. वैसे who would you be more comfortable borrowing money from, your father, your boyfriend, or your friend?
Like I said, if it's a small amount, for sure you. And probably if I think that you're capable of giving a big loan to me, then also you. But if it's for a serious matter, I would say my father. If it's for an unserious thing, then for sure I'll take it from you. But boyfriend, I don't think so. I never have. I don't think I ever will.
Boyfriend के साथ क्या problem आती है वैसे?
Yeah, husband, yes. Husband, yes, for sure. Why not? Boyfriend, I don't think कि वो रिश्ता वहाँ तक पहुँचा होता है जहाँ पे आप किसी से पैसे ले सको.
I agree. और also पता है लड़कियों को ये वाली चीज़ भी तो होती है that the moment there's a breakup, everything that was done प्यार में एक दूसरे के लिए, अगर उसने उससे कोई पैसे मांगे या बोरो किया और उसने भी बहुत खुशी खुशी उसको हेल्प किया उस सिचुएशन में, क्योंकि that is what you do in love, right? The relationship ends and if people just talk about it in a way which was not even true in the first place, right? So then it all becomes like a big dog on your character.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
But then in that case, you just return the money. GPay right there.
Yeah. But ऐसे में, what if somebody gets you very expensive gifts? Are you comfortable taking them?
Until a point I was, but not anymore.
Why?
I was only in a very serious setting because only then you feel that you have the right to even take something like that because you know what you are giving in the relationship, how emotionally invested you are in the relationship. So you actually consider that person here, right? So you feel okay, it's okay. Because that person already, obviously, even as a boyfriend, is nearing that husband status in your life. So there, yes, but in a casual setting, I don't think so. And also, in a casual setting, if I am gifted something, I'll constantly find ways to give it back. And sometimes, let's say if it's too much, let's say somebody's given you an iPhone, right? And you can't give them back an iPhone. So what you can do is you can, give them something worth 10,000, 15,000, right? But that's the max that you can do, let's say. So in that case, it has to be a one-time thing and you have to put your foot down that this time you got me something, I've accepted, but next time I'm not going to take it.
क्योंकि पता है वो गिफ्ट की जगह वो एक बर्डन सा महसूस होने लग जाता है. The moment somebody does something for you, जो तुम्हें पता है कि शायद वो बहुत अच्छे से अफोर्ड कर सकता है, वो अपने दिल से दे रहा है, वो अफोर्ड कर सकता है, बट कहीं ना कहीं तुम्हारे दिमाग में वो चीज़ आ जाती है कि फक यार, मैं I have to make it even. And not with a bad feeling also, but with just कि I can't take so much, I have to give it back. एंड उसके बाद लाइक यू सेड एस्टैब्लिश अ बाउंड्री कि भाई उस चीज़ को वहीं पे ख़त्म कर दो. पता है कितने सारे फैमिली रिलेशंस में ये चीज़ें शुरू हो जाती है और वहाँ से उस साइकिल से ब्रेक करना बहुत ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट होता है.
Oh, it's true and people regret. एक बारी के बाद अब वो पहली दिवाली, लोहड़ी सब कुछ शुरू कर दो and eventually later on, because it's like firstly it compounds, right? First it's just two families, then there are the kids, then you have to give to the kids. When the kids marry, you have to give to their partners, and then when they have kids, oh my god, so it's like where you started with 2 people, you end up with 10 people to gift, right? And it is like it is a bad circle that keeps going on and keeps getting bigger. So I think it's very important to define that line, that what is the kind of extravagance that I am comfortable with, and do that. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ये होता है कि कोई इंसान वापस आपसे उतना ही करेगा जितना आपने किया है.
And that is
good.
okay, हाँ.
That's good.
I think that's a good etiquette to have also, and
Yeah.
it's fine. इसमें nothing to frown upon. And अभी जब तू family की बात करी थी ना, मेरे को इतनी funny चीज़ याद आई. So my दादी ना, she would get a monthly pension of X amount. So many times her entire pension amount would go into what? कि ठीक है, इसका बर्थडे है, इसकी बेटी का ये है, मेरे दामाद का ये है, मतलब उनका सारा पेंशन अमाउंट उनके लिफाफों में ही चले जाता था जो उनको अपनी फैमिली में देने पड़ते थे. एंड आई थिंक एक टाइम तक ये चीज़ें ठीक लगती हैं, बट एक टाइम के बाद यू नो इफ़ यू हैव योर ओन बिल्स टू पे, तो फिर ये लेन देन बहुत ज़्यादा वैसा लगता है, अननेसेसरी.
Totally.
Because honestly, you know, sometimes it hurts when you can't even do that.
My लेन-देन is particularly way too much in brown society. Like too much. हमारी इंडियन सोसाइटी में इस चीज़ को इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ा दिया है. Marriages से लेके all the fucking festivals and events that follow after that marriage, oh my god, it can drain a family, and I feel it's so damn unnecessary. I mean, tomorrow if I have a son and I'm getting him married, I would actually feel uncomfortable letting another family pay for everything that me, my family, and my relatives and my friends get to enjoy. I mean, how bizarre is that? ठीक है, these customs have been made, and probably उस टाइम पे वो इसलिए था because see, logically अगर आप customs की बात करो या traditionally ये प्रथा क्यों सेट की गई, makes sense, right? Because मेरा एक बच्चा है, ठीक है, लड़कियां उस टाइम पे काम नहीं करती थी. इट्स वन मेंबर जिसकी पूरी मेरे को लिविंग एक्सपेंसेस इनकर करने हैं. नाउ दैट पर्सन इज गोइंग इनटू योर फैमिली, राइट? सो अल्टीमेटली यू हैव टू इनकर. मेरे लिए तो लोग कम हो गए, आपके लिए लोग बढ़ गए, उसके बाद वो बच्चे भी होंगे, उसका भी आपको करना है. सो इट ओनली मेक सेंस कि आपने एटलीस्ट शादी के टाइम पे कुछ सॉलिड अमाउंट दे दिया जिसका आप कुछ भी बना लो, कर लो, एंड दैट कैन मेक योर लाइफ ईजियर, राइट? बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली इट इज passing off a burden, not your daughter. Your daughter isn't a burden because she is not financially independent. Her living expenses are a burden, right? So traditionally it may have made sense, but not anymore. Not anymore when women are also earning. It is a bizarre concept that an entire family not only is okay enjoying all these things that they are not paying for, right? An entire fucking festival of 3 days that they did not pay for, but are also comfortable asking for more.
Yeah.
Right? That we want this also, we want milli mein ye gifts, and we want this, and we want that. Like, how?
It's almost like extorting money. मतलब आप इतने ही लीचड़ हो चुके हो, आप इतने गिर चुके हो कि जितना आप, एक अलग बात होती है कि इवेंट आप कर रहे हो, आप उसकी शादी का कर रहे हो, वो इवेंट आप स्पॉन्सर कर रहे हो, राइट? बट ये जो तू बात कर रही है कि ये सोने की चेन इसको भी चाहिए, और इसको 2 तोले का ये चाहिए, इसको 10 तोले की ये चाहिए, इसको गिन्नियाँ चाहिए, ये सारी चीज़ें, आई थिंक इट्स टू मच. ये तो वो वाली बात हो गई कि यू नो कि इट्स लाइक मिल्किंग अ काउ, कि आ रही है तो फिर जितना ले सकते हो उस मोमेंट में ले लो. एंड फिर उसके बाद पता है, सो मेनी टाइम्स इट हैपेंस दैट वुमेन व्हेन दे गेट मैरिड, दे गो विद अ लॉट ऑफ ज्वेलरी इनटू द अदर हाउस, राइट? इट इज हर ज्वेलरी, right, that she has gotten from her parents. Of course now the two of you will live together and everything will be together, but I really don't appreciate कि जब एक दूसरे घर में जाते, you know, when all of that is taken away and kept aside. And I don't know if it happens here and there or not, but in my family I've seen it, that there are some distant relatives and one cousin sister who, when she got married, वो जितना सोना लेके गई थी वो सारा सोना उसकी मदर इन लॉ ने यू नो साइड करके रख दिया था, एंड टिल डेट शी डजंट हैव एक्सेस टू इट.
No, it definitely does happen in a lot of families, but I've also seen this trend change. Like, you know, people understand that it's her jewelry, her parents gave it, and you know she has the right.
Yeah.
So, and you know, speaking of jewelry, because we are talking about money and mostly women's relation with money. Dear women, jewelry is not an investment. Please stop treating jewelry as an investment. It has a heavy making charge on it. जितना आपको probably एक साल एक म्यूचुअल फंड को इन्वेस्ट करके नहीं मिलता, उससे ज़्यादा की मेकिंग है, that you're not getting back. You just get the value of gold, right? Also, when you have hard jewelry, there's a risk attached to it because there is storage. If you are taking a bank locker, you have to pay for the locker, right? And there's constantly that risk that it can get stolen away, right? So
And I think ऐसा हुआ भी था. I remember that, you know, so much gold from your nani was stolen.
I can't even begin to tell what happened. So obviously my nani, like other traditional women, had a lot of jewelry, and that was her. Other than her real estate, right? She had all her money invested in jewelry, and it was not a small amount of jewelry. It was a lot of jewelry. It was a pack full of jewelry, like this much. It was, and now she's an old lady, and she did not trust, like old people did not never trusted banks, right? So she did not trust banks either. So she used to keep it, like what she did was thele mein banda, and sink ke niche there's a dustbin के पीछे she kept that thela, right? That यहाँ पे गन समझ के कोई भी नहीं करेगा, because she's an old lady, she was scared कोई ले जाए कुछ. So she, according to her, was being
That
very
was the
smart
safest
about
place.
it, right? And one day my mother visited her, and she was just helping her clean, and she was like, हाँ जरा वहाँ से मेरी jewelry भी निकाल के ला, पता को, you know, I'll give you 2-3 rings. And my mother went there, and she's like, कुछ भी नहीं है वहाँ पे.
Oh my God.
She did not even know, and that entire thela was gone. The jewelry was in kilos. It was not in grams.
Oh my God.
So, like, jewelry is not a good investment, and please find better ways to invest. But jewelry is definitely not a recommended medium.
Well, say, what all do you like to spend on?
I love to invest. That's not spending.
Spending,
But
yeah.
if I have to tell you, then I love to invest. Then I get a very, very, very weird sense of satisfaction when I buy people gifts. You know me.
Your love language is gifting.
My love language is gifting, taking and receiving both, to be honest. But because you can't really control the receiving part, and also receiving is good, but also the moment you receive, there's this, वो आपकी घड़ी शुरू हो जाती है कि
हिसाब चलने लग
अब
जाता है
वापस
कि
देना है,
हाँ,
ठीक है? So I love giving gifts, and I love when I also give it a personal and immaterial touch, which is sometimes by adding notes to it. So I love spending on buying people things, and whenever I do something for my parents, that is
That is the feeling.
that's the feeling. Although इतना कुछ नहीं कर पाते, they already have everything, but you know, sometimes even just ordering them a pizza, it gives you a lot of happiness. Then obviously I love to get a good deal on fashion, right? So if I'm shopping and I get a really, really good deal, let's say there was a 6K Armani t-shirt that I got for 3.5K on Ajio, that is amazing. And so I do like retail therapy, and that does give me satisfaction, but only if done moderately. If I'm doing it once in 2 months, it's good. But if it's happening every
Every
day,
week?
right? Every week there's a notification from Myntra and Ajio or H&M or Zara, and you feel the need to just quickly go and buy. That is toxic, and that I do not advocate at all. And the last thing is obviously whenever you find a way to give back. That also is a very, very, very satisfying feeling. I wanted to mention it a little up in the list, but I do not want to sound very
No, but this I've seen
sage.
about you, that you were actually one of the first people that I started noticing कि तू कितनी easily, and पता है ये चीज़ मैंने तेरी end of the month के time पे भी notice करी है. हम कितनी बारी ऐसा हुआ है that you know we've gone out shopping और हम center market में हैं, हम खान market में, हम कहीं पे भी हैं, and suddenly this one kid will come from somewhere and you know he'll try to sell something and he'll try to ask for money or ask for food, and तू जितनी मर्जी किल्लत में चल रही हो उस टाइम पे, I have always seen you, you know, take a note out, take him anywhere close where he wants to go. आइसक्रीम खानी है, खाना खाना है, छोले भटूरे खाने हैं, जो भी होगा, you'll always spend on the guy. So that too I've particularly seen and appreciated about you. And
And you know, although it's said, like, at least our scriptures say that you should donate 10% of what you make. It is hardly 10% what I do. It's hardly 1% also. But that feeling is something else. And you know, people have talked about it over and over again, that after a point, the money will not matter. What you can do with that money will matter. And it truly does. And you know, I would say this to everybody, जितना भी कर सकते हो, थोड़ा बहुत करो. That feeling is something else. The fact that God gave you something and you did something meaningful with it is so good. And you know, sometimes most people are like, yeah, who'll make that effort, right? अगर आप NGOs को करो, you don't know if they're genuine or corrupt, right? And other times people are like कि हमारे पास अभी इतना टाइम नहीं, हम रुक के किसी को खाना दिलाएं या राशन लेकर आए और उसको राशन बैग बना के दे. That's just too much effort and we don't want to give money because ये लोग तो नशा करते हैं उसका. So I read this somewhere, and this is something I recently told my father also, because he was like, you know, don't give cash and all of that. You know, it's okay. वो they've
क्योंकि
already
वो
नशा
drugs
करके सो
करते
रहे हैं
हैं,
and all
हाँ.
of that. So I told him this, that I heard, you know, reel only, a spiritual guru was talking about this. She was like, when God gives you money, He doesn't ask you what you're going to do with it. तुम अपने पैसे की शॉपिंग भी कर रहे हो, तुम अपने पैसे की शराब भी पी रहे हो, तुम अपने पैसे की पार्टी भी कर रहे हो, वेकेशन भी कर रहे हो. कुछ जज का तो तुम वैसे भी अपने पैसे के साथ नहीं कर रहे. बट ही डज नॉट आस्क यू व्हाट यू गोना डू विद द मनी. हु डू यू थिंक यू आर टू आस्क और टू वंडर what a child is going to do with a fucking 10 rupee note? You know, and that one reel that I saw changed the game for me entirely. It just changed the game for me.
मेरे लिए तो of course it's doing something. I think there is a part of me that loves to spend on dogs, and I did it till the time Oster, my dog, was around. But now every month I spend a good deal of money on the street dogs that are there in my colony, and sometimes I contribute to certain NGOs which cater to dogs, right? And that is something that makes me feel very good about myself. मतलब कितनी बारी ऐसे होता है कि शायद मेरे को कपड़े खरीदते हुए इतनी ज़्यादा खुशी नहीं महसूस होती, वो शायद उस मोमेंट वो instant gratification वाली चीज़ होती है, that you know I've spent money on a dress, I worn it once and then that's it. It doesn't stay with you. But spending money on dogs stays with me. That feeling stays with me. Spending money on my parents, on my mother for that matter, stays with me a lot.
Priceless.
Yes, I mean I love my father and I want to do a lot for him and I will in my life, but for some reason spending money on my mother makes me feel really, you know, greater than it does for my father. For some reason, and you know, उनकी आदत भी वैसी है, उनकी personality ऐसी है that you know she'll always be like नहीं नहीं ये मत करो और इस पे मत spend करो और क्या ज़रूरत थी. But I just feel like that, you know, it's okay, sit back, relax. You worked very hard all your life. Now, you know, it's my time to sort of give it back to you. And apart from that, I think now I've started enjoying spending money on some experiences. And it could be travel, or it could be taking a dance class, or it could be, you know, experiencing anything that is new, that I've not done. But now I'm coming around to that idea of, you know, spending a little on experiences and it makes me feel good.
So totally aligned with you on this, because up until recently, मुझे ज़्यादा खुशी होती थी चीज़ें खरीदने में, right? If I have, let's say, 5,000 to spare, instead of going out and spending it on an experience, I would happily spend that 5,000 shopping, because then I'm like, ये तो चला जाएगा, but here I have things that I can use, right? But that's not true. As you grow older, you realize that those experiences, tangibly, they may not stay with you, but they stay with you.
Yeah.
In a way that becomes a part of you. So it is truly, I think, a better idea to spend on experiences.
पर सबसे ज़्यादा दुख कब होता है जब तुम पैसे नहीं स्पेंड कर पाते? For me it can be, you know, a lot of things. बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए they feel really bad and it really hurts them when they you know can't take a vacation with their friends. जब उनको वो मना करना पड़ता है क्योंकि उनके circumstances different हैं, उनकी you know उनकी financial liabilities different हैं. तो कुछ लोगों को उस चीज़ में बुरा लगता है, कुछ लोगों को बुरा लगता है जब वो एक you know पार्टी पे नहीं जा पाते क्योंकि वो वहाँ पे जाके ड्रिंक अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं, खाना पीना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं, they have to cancel out plans. मेरे को सबसे ज़्यादा बुरा तब लगा था अपनी लाइफ में where I wanted to pursue higher studies and I wanted to go to a particular college abroad and I couldn't because at that time, you know, it wasn't going to be the right or the, you know, better decision to make given the circumstances. So I think that is one thing that really stayed with me.
Now, see, that is a real problem, right? Not being able to go on vacation with your friends or a party, that hurts, but that is something that you can get over. Then you work hard, make more money, and party and take vacations. What you just said had a time constraint to it, and it defined your education and your everything else. And although you did just fine, I think better than that, you know, without going to that college, and you still did go to one of the best colleges of DU. which is one of the best universities of India, but that is a real problem.
But now I do think, you know, once you come around and you make something of yourself, then it's no longer a time constraint, because I do plan on going abroad soon, someday, and completing my education.
That is great.
I think spending money on these things is very good. It's nice. It leaves you with a good, happy feeling. Spending on what else?
I don't think there was any real problem that I had to face because I did not have enough money, because education, for example, is a real problem. Health, I believe, is a real problem. Me not being able to buy that Dior lip balm that I wanted to when I was in Milan is not a problem. However, I'll tell you where I spent the money, but I felt extremely bad about spending it, and that is, I spent a great deal of money on getting a degree, a master's degree, and I didn't, my father did, a great deal of money, and because of certain circumstances, uncontrollable, I was going through a lot, was in a very bad space because of some personal relationships around me. I, despite being a scholar in my day, did not do justice to that, and that is a regret that stayed. So it's not a very direct answer to your question, but this is, you know, my answer, that sometimes it's not the fact that you could not spend money, it's that you spent money but did not do right by it.
Did not do
and that is
justice
a very heavy regret. Very heavy regret.
I can understand.
As much as I will do well in my career, that regret is going to stay with me. Okay, so what, according to you, are rude money habits?
Okay, that is interesting. One thing that is definitely rude is asking somebody the price of something that you're wearing or that you're carrying without having the intention of actually buying it. वो नोजी लोग होते हैं ना, जो बस नहीं ये कितने का खरीदा, ये कितने का, उनको खुद तुम्हें खरीदना है तो समझ आता है कि तुम क्यों पूछ रहे हो, बट उनको खरीदना भी नहीं होता, उनको घंटे भर का इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं होता, बट उनको जानना पूरा होता है कि नहीं ये चीज़ तुमने कितने की खरीदी, अच्छा वो इयररिंग्स कहाँ से ले, अच्छा ये वॉच कहाँ की है. वेरी रूड. पीपल शुडंट डू दैट.
ये ना बड़ी आंटी वाली चीजें करने की, right? Just to ask price tags of everything somebody is wearing to test their financial waters. Like, it's a very aunty thing to do.
Yes.
No, don't do it. Yes,
Yeah.
Agreed. Very rude.
And another thing that is very rude, I think, is to not tip.
Agreed.
आई थिंक कि चाहे कम करो, स्पेशली उन चीज़ों में जैसे जब आप खाना ऑर्डर करते हो और कोई आ रहा है आपके लिए, स्पेशली यू नो इतनी दूर से वो ड्राइवर आ रहा है, गर्मी में आ रहा है, बारिश में आ रहा है, कैसे भी रात को लेट नाइट आ रहा है, ये सारी चीज़ें कर रहा है. आई थिंक द लीस्ट दैट यू कैन डू इज आस्क देम फॉर वाटर, एंड देन सेकंड इज टू टिप देम.
Yeah.
कम करो, पर जितना भी करो करना ज़रूर चाहिए.
Particularly in service sector, tipping is like a mandate. You have to do it. And of course, food delivery and all matters, particularly when अगर आपको कोई बारिश में, सड़ती धूप में deliver करने आ रहा है. But also, I believe one sector where tipping is of utmost importance is anything that's related to hygiene or beauty services. You know, you're getting a bikini wax, right? Somebody is, you know, going through a very gross process. Tip them, please tip them, right? So, you know, anything that requires some effort also, you're getting a massage done, you're getting a pedicure done.
जिसमें उनकी physical strength जा रही है.
You must tip.
Yeah. What are other rude money habits, Sadhika?
I think when you're going out with people, even if let's say it was discussed पहले कि नहीं नहीं आज मेरी treat है या फिर आप date पे भी जा रहे हो, it is very important to offer, at least offer. And when I say offer, mean it.
Yeah.
Right? Offer it such that if at all a yes comes, you should be okay splitting the bill. Right? So that is very important. True. And because you know a lot of people they offer for the sake of offering, but they don't really mean to pay.
And जैसे ही अगला बंदा कहता है कि हाँ चल ठीक है कर लेते हो, ओह सॉरी मैं अपना वॉलेट अपनी गाड़ी में भूल आया, ओह शिट सर्वर नहीं चल रहा, ओहो गूगल पे की यू नो पेमेंट अटक गई है थोड़ी सी, शिट क्या करूँ, नहीं वांट टू पे फॉर मी, ओके आई विल पे लेटर.
तो नियत होनी बहुत ज़रूरी है, and you should offer to pay. Another very rude thing that I find is that let's say if I've gone out with you and I had drinks but you did not. Veg non-veg I think थोड़ा ज़्यादा cheap हो जाता है, उसको side रखते हैं. But when you're going out with people where you know a section is drinking and the other is not, it is very fair that only the drinkers pay for the alcohol. So I think
क्योंकि
that
उसका
is
टैक्स अलग लगता है, अमाउंट अलग होती है बहुत, और ऐसा मार्जिनल डिफरेंस भी नहीं आता, काफ़ी ज़्यादा डिफरेंस आता है. सो फेयर इनफ. अनदर रूड मनी हैबिट हैज़ टू बी आस्किंग पीपल देयर सैलरी. भाई इट इज़ नॉट कूल, प्लीज स्टॉप डूइंग इट. सबसे ज़्यादा रिलेटिव्स करते हैं ये कि कहीं एक बैठक लगी नहीं, द फर्स्ट थिंग दिल बी लाइक कितने पैसे कमा रहे हो, इन हैंड कितनी है. भाई हाउ डज इट मैटर, इट इज़ नन ऑफ योर बिजनेस.
totally.
तो ये तो हो गई रूड मनी हैबिट्स. ऐसे में ये बता कि डू यू हैव लाइक सम क्विक टिप्स टू सेव मनी.
Firstly, something that I've already said, that first take out the money that you want to save and then spend, and that is like the golden rule of thumb जो सबको पता है but practice कोई नहीं करता. Do that. And the other thing is to invest in certain things जो शुरू में हो सकता है बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट हो, बट लॉन्ग टर्म में इट विल बी ईजी ऑन योर पॉकेट एंड इट विल मेक थिंग्स वेरी ईजी फॉर यू. एंड वन सच एग्जाम्पल पर्टिकुलरली फॉर women is laser hair reduction. It's a bomb if you go for it, and 6 sessions don't really help. So going for it
The longer
entire
one.
1.5 years ka period or lifetime, if that you get that deal, is a very very good idea. शुरू में बॉम्ब है, but eventually, firstly, the pain is peanuts as compared to waxing, and the other thing is that in the long run, it is definitely easier on your pocket.
एंड आई थिंक ये चीज़ ना बहुत सारी लड़कियां नहीं रियलाइज करती. इनफैक्ट मैंने भी नहीं रियलाइज करी थी अंटिल यू वेंट फॉर इट, राइट. कि उस टाइम पे लगता है कि यार शिट एकदम से इतना ज़्यादा पैसा कैसे निकलेगा, बट वी डोंट इवन रियलाइज हाउ मच वी एंड अप स्पेंडिंग ऑन आवर सैलून विजिट्स के. यहाँ पे वैक्सिंग करवानी है, यहाँ ये करवाना है, एवरी अदर वीक वी आर सिटिंग देयर एंड स्पेंडिंग सो मच मनी इन द सैलून. सो आई थिंक उसके कंपैरिजन में दिस इज लाइक अ कूल क्विक टिप.
Definitely. And people think the opposite. They think laser is more expensive because it's advanced and it costs a lot as a lump sum. But it's the opposite. In a larger view of things, laser is definitely cheaper.
एंड बिकॉज यू सेट चीपर, ब्रो मेरे को रिसेंटली अभी एक स्टोरी पता चली है, ठीक है. आई मीन टॉक अबाउट स्टोरीज ऑफ पीपल विद बैड बिहेवियर अराउंड मनी. इतनी चीप स्टोरी पता लगी है मेरे को रिसेंटली. तो ब्रो सीन ऐसा था कि मेरी एक दोस्त है, ठीक है, और ये मेरी ईवाई के टाइम से एक दोस्त है, ठीक है. वो आज के टाइम पे कमा रही होगी 70-80 हज़ार रुपये पर महीना, ठीक है. एंड शी इज़ ओपन अबाउट शेयरिंग इट, विच इज़ वाई आई एम डिस्क्लोजिंग, अदरवाइज इट्स अ बैड इट्स बैड मैनर्स टू डिस्कस अदर पीपल सैलरी ऑल्सो. एनीवे, सो 70-80 हज़ार रुपये कमा रही होगी वो. शी रिसेंटली गॉट इनटू अ रिलेशनशिप, ठीक है. अब रिलेशनशिप में वो जिस बंदे के साथ आई, अनफॉर्चुनेटली थिंग्स आर नॉट गोइंग ग्रेट इन दैट गाइज लाइफ, ठीक है. मतलब फाइनेंशियली, करियर वाइज सब कुछ ही एकदम ही उसका लो जा रहा है. तो वो अपनी नौकरी वगैरह सब छोड़ के बैठा हुआ है. द टू हैव डिसाइडेड टू लिव इन टुगेदर एंड शी इज़ पेइंग रेंट फॉर द बोथ ऑफ देम. ऐसे में व्हेन यू आर अर्निंग से अबाउट 80,000 रुपीज़, शी इज स्पेंडिंग 40,000 रुपीज़ ऑन जस्ट रेंट एंड घर का खर्चा जो होता है. ये तो उसका मोटा मोटा यहाँ पे जा ही रहा है, ठीक है. इसके ऊपर से उसका बॉयफ्रेंड जो अभी एक अच्छे मेंटल स्पेस में नहीं है, वो उसको भी लाइक वो उसके सारे एक्सपेंसेस इनकर कर रही है अभी. उसके खाने से लेके, उसके पीने से लेके, उसके कपड़ों से लेके, उसकी आउटिंग से लेके. इनफैक्ट जब वो ऑफिस खुद जा रही होती है, उसको हमेशा एक छोटी सी पॉकेट मनी या खर्ची दे के जाती है, बिकॉज द गाय डजंट हैव मनी. और खर्ची तक तो फिर भी समझ आ रहा था कि चल यार कोई बात नहीं. ब्रो उसने उसको अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड दे के रखा हुआ था, और अगले बंदे ने क्रेडिट कार्ड से गेस कर क्या किया. अगले बंदे ने क्रेडिट कार्ड से अपने लिए बहुत मोटी महंगी ज्वेलरी खरीद ली. एंड दिस इज़ व्हेन उनका ऑलरेडी महीने का खर्चा इतना ज़्यादा ऑफ चल रहा है, राइट. तो वो चीज़ तो वो वैसे भी नहीं हैंडल कर पा रहे, वो एक्सपेंसेस बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, वहाँ पे वो क्रेडिट कार्ड स्वाइप होता जा रहा है. कट टू राइट नाउ शी इज़ इन सो मच फकिंग डेट, क्योंकि वहाँ पे क्रेडिट कार्ड का बिल पे नहीं हो रहा, यहाँ पे तुम्हारे मंथली खर्चे तुम्हारे मंथली अर्निंग्स के साथ मैच नहीं कर रहे हैं, टू द पॉइंट दैट शी हैड टू बोरो ऑलमोस्ट $1 lakh फ्रॉम अ फ्रेंड. एंड क्लियरली दैट एंटायर लैक उसने वो डेट तो बिल्कुल क्लियर नहीं किया अभी, क्योंकि इंटरेस्ट तो बढ़ता रहता है. तो वो चीज़ चली रही है. उसके ऊपर से उसके ऊपर एक और $1 लाख का कर्जा आ चुका है. और इस सब में what she is really focusing on is spending more and more on the boyfriend who's not doing anything.
To all the people who say only women are gold diggers, here's a story for you all. Please listen carefully.
हाँ, quite literal terms में गोल्ड ही खरीदा था उसने, गोल्ड चेन.
So speaking of bad credit card management. There's this girl that I know. She had a credit. She'd taken a credit of 60,000. तो उसने 60,000 के expenses incur किए थे जो उसको 45 days में pay करने थे, and she couldn't pay it. And every single day, because they charged like 3.5% of interest since the day of transaction if you miss the limit. So it kept compounding to the point that उसको 80,000 interest pay करना है 60,000 की principal amount पे.
Oh my god.
Can you believe that? And what people don't realize is that banks exactly want you to do this.
Yes.
So I don't use a credit card right now. I mean, I plan to start using it very soon because having a credit history is very, very good. Like a good credit history is very, very good for you. But so what they do is, like when you're checking out, right? When your money is due, let's say you have to pay 70,000 ka bill. They'll show you minimum balance that you can pay and get rid of it. Right? So it's like 3,000 ka, let's say, minimum aa raha hai. Now you'll be very tempted to just click that, pay 3,000. A layman who doesn't know this would think कि मेरे को 3,000 से buy time मिल रहा है, so I can use my money judiciously and just pay 3,000 right now. Why to empty 70K right now, right? But what they do is they start charging you interest on it, on the balance amount. So
और उस इंटरेस्ट के लूप में लोग फंस जाते हैं एंड बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है निकलना.
I totally agree that पूरे बैंक्स मेरे को ऐसा लगता है सिर्फ और सिर्फ वसूली पे चल रहे हैं. And this is exactly what banks need you to do. They need people who will not be able to pay off their loans and the credit that they've taken, and then they can charge them very, 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 very hefty amounts of interest.
True.
The thing with credit cards is it's such a tricky thing. It's like that little line you have to tiptoe, because having a good credit score is very important. A good CIBIL score will do you wonders. Later on, you want to start your own business, some emergency. The amount of loan you'll get, the terms of loan you'll get, everything will depend on your score. But at the same time, if you do not learn how to use a credit card wisely, you will fall into that loop. If you end up spending more than you can afford, it just starts that cycle, and the next thing you know, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and it's happening to so many people.
That is the only reason why I am still not comfortable having a credit card. भाई क्योंकि ठीक है मैं अभी I'm still young in my journey with money management and financial literacy and everything, but at this point one thing I know for sure कि मैं आगे पीछे बहुत ज़्यादा careful होती हूँ अपने पैसे spend करने में, but जहाँ पे when a loved one is concerned, चाहे वो मेरी दोस्त हो, चाहे वो मेरा कोई boyfriend हो, चाहे वो मेरे parents हो, वहाँ मैं पिघल गई. और वहाँ पे suddenly my heart grows 10 times bigger than it is, and I just want to splurge, and the Punjabi in me really awakens. तो उस हिसाब से तो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है कि मेरे पास कोई क्रेडिट कार्ड नहीं है. अगर होता तो मैं रोड पे आ चुकी होती अभी इंटरेस्ट दे के, तो मैं बची हुई हूँ. तो ऐसे में do you at this stage in your life feel that you have financial freedom?
No, I don't, because financial freedom is when your active income is equal to your passive income, right? And the thing about passive income is that you have to have a very, very big corpus in order to have a very good passive income, right? Like for example, if I invest 1 lakh right now and the interest on FD, right, it's what, 4%, 5%, तो कितना आएगा? वो 5,000 से कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा मेरा. So and this is where people falter, because they think कि अगर आपके पास आपकी एक्टिव इनकम जो है इतनी खास नहीं भी है, with smartly investing your money you can create a lot of passive income, which is not true at all. Because your active income is the money that you'll end up investing, right? And you only invest a fraction of it, और उस fraction पे आपको एक fraction मिलेगा. So when you have primarily focus on increasing your active income to the point where you can spare chunks and chunks of it for investing, and then you create your passive income, and the day both of them
are equal,
that is when you've truly attained financial freedom. So but that starts with passive income बहुत बाद में आ जाती है. शुरू में it's more about looking out for very critical components. There are 3 things. There's critical components, there are need-based tools, and then there are wealth creation tools. So critical components are like your term plan, your life insurance, your emergency fund, which it should be like 6 months of your
What?
household expenses, or if you don't run a household, then your personal expenses. In our case, it would be personal expenses.
And that is actually what helped people during COVID also.
Yeah.
To sail
so
through that time.
COVID was a perfect example why we need to have savings and not why everything should be just
Hand to
invested.
mouth.
You have to have that little liquidity, and then there are need-based tools like national pension scheme and all of that, and then there are wealth creation tools which is like equity and all of that, and then there are like 7 kinds of income. So there's your active income, which is your primary income also. But primary income is limited, right? Because it's limited to the skills you have and the number of hours you have in a day. 24 घंटे ही है और skills भी limited है, तो आप उतना ही बना सकते हो. Then there is profit income. You invest in somebody's business. उसके अलावा जितनी भी आती है, your interest income, your capital gains, your rental income, that is all a function of your active income. Which is why a good corpus helps. And वो जब आप invest करोगे, उसके through you'll have enough passive income, and when that will be equal to, and that happens after a lot of compounding. And when it's compounded enough to that amount which equals your active income, that is when you're truly financially free. So no, not free yet, but for sure will be. Financial freedom is when you can wake up at the hour you want, right? And when you can have a very, very long lunch without having to look at your watch, or the ability to take a vacation any time of the year for as long as you want. I believe true financial freedom is, because what money does for you is it gives you more control over your time. The more money you have, and this is something that I read in this book that I've been reading, The Psychology of Money, that what money truly does for you is it does not give you material things, it gives you control over your time. गरीब बंदा जो है उसके पास टाइम नहीं है फैमिली के लिए क्योंकि उसको कमाना है, उसके पास पैसे नहीं है, वो हैंड टू माउथ है, राइट? On the other hand, a billionaire who set his company on autopilot, right? He can just take his yacht and take his multiple girlfriends and go have fun. So that is true financial freedom for me, having enough control over your time.
Yeah, and this reminds me of this very interesting concept that I got to know about recently. It's called having fuck you money, right? And having fuck you money basically means कि तुम्हारे पास इतना पैसा है कि तुम किसी चीज़ को मना कर सकते हो, ऐसे बोल के that fuck you bro, कि मैं नहीं करूँगा, that I won't have to take this project, I won't have to take this job because I have enough fuck you money. So, I really hope that all of us soon get to make our fuck you money.
Yes, to making fuck you money.
Yes.